let's get into it. The Warriors started 36-0 at home last season and didn't lose at Oracle until April, but Golden State fell to the Spurs 129-100 in their home opener last night. Charles Barkley has been one of the Warriors' biggest critics, even with the addition of Kevin Durant. During TNT's coverage of the NBA's opening night, Barkley reiterating his position that this Warriors team will not win the chip.
I said to you the year they won, I said everything worked out perfect. Every series that year, they were down in the series, and one of those teams were missing their star player. And I said to you, if they can win the championship this year, get through a gauntlet, shoot jumpers, I would get on my knees this show and say I was wrong. And let me tell you something, I'm going to say the same thing this year. I don't think you can win the championship just out shooting people.
Stephen A., what do you think? You agree with Charles Barkley?
Not necessarily. The Warriors, as far as I'm concerned, they came within a Draymond Green suspension of winning back-to-back titles. And certainly adding Kevin Durant, who's one of the prolific scorers this game has ever seen, and a top 3 player on the planet as far as I'm concerned, I think it's very possible that they could pull it off. That doesn't mean that they will. It remains to be seen. There's a season to play, no doubt, but they're the prohibitive favorites for a reason. And I think that the way the game is played now, I think Charles Barkley would be absolutely right. If this were back in the day, you'd see guys getting smacked on their arms, smacked on their shoulders, kneed in the groin, tripped up, all types of insidious stuff happening to them. You can't get away with that in today's game. It's a pretty boys game, to be quite honest with you. LeBron James is rough and tumble. He could play in any era. But the reality is that it's a game that caters to more finesse rather than physicality. And because of that reality, I'm just of the mindset that Charles Barkley is wrong in this estimation. If the Golden State Warriors don't win the championship, I don't think it's going to be because they're primarily a jump shooting perimeter team. I think they could win a championship playing like that. And I think in order for somebody to beat them, they're going to have to stop that. It's not going to be, because the Golden State Warriors prefer to shoot jump shots rather than get to the hole, that they're not going to win. That's not going to be the reason why they're not going to win, because they're certainly going to make enough shots to try and pull it off.
The great Charles Barkley, who is the greatest TV star there is, I think, including everybody, is wrong about this. And I think the reason
I disagree with that, though. I think I'm bigger.
I think he's got you.
Go ahead.
I think he's got you beat. But I think he's wrong, Stephen A., because he has a horse in this race. He has skin in the game here because he's anti-analytics. I mean, that's really, I think, what it comes down to. He comes from an era where you couldn't win the whole thing as a jump shooting team. But then what happened was there was a rules change. And I was among the very many who thought, it's not that big a rules change, really, that it's going to fundamentally change the kind of team that can win a championship. But it did. It did. The hand checking, the whole thing, the zone defense, everything changed in such a way that allowed for a much easier time if you were a three-point shooting team. And analytics that actually studied this and did the math that you hate so much when I do, Stephen A., backed it up. And to give Mike D'Antoni credit, he was the first, I think, to truly understand how you can really more efficiently exploit the rules changes, and then Popovich and others took that to the next level. Look, the Cavs are a three-point shooting team. When the playoffs started, they were shooting the lights out from everyone, against everyone. Now, Barkley can sit there and say, yeah, but you also have to do X, Y, and Z. Well, of course. Of course, you also have to play defense. You also have to do all those other things. But the orthodoxy, the received wisdom, was always a primarily three-point shooting team. If that's really what you're basing your offense around, you're not going to win the championship. And then not only did the Warriors win the championship, and the Spurs is a largely three-point shooting team. Well, but they had guys who could post two, yeah, but the majority of their offense was shooting that three. They won. And as a matter of fact, all the top three-point shooting teams are the only teams you see in the playoffs. If you don't shoot the three, you surely will not make the playoffs. And I think that's why Barkley is digging in his heels on the Warriors right now, because if the Warriors were to win 2 out of 3, that validates a new NBA, a new kind of world that he doesn't want to be true. And the old-timers are going to have to adjust to that.